Alright, Cluck Cluck Chicken Lady here. So, during my downtime, I have kind of decided to put together some videos that can just kind of be released at any point whenever I'm not feeling good or when I'm away or whatever, so that y'all still have content, because I know how important chicken content is to y'all, right? So, this will be the first in that series. I think I've got, um, I've got a lot lined up. I think I've got like 2 done. So I need to get going. But by the time this is released, hopefully I'll have most of them done. Cluck cluck, I hope y'all enjoy it. Alright, Cluck Cluck Chicken Lady here. So, today I thought we'd talk about Chicken Lady's 10 most wanted breeds. Chicken Lady's 10 most wanted. Okay, I put these in sort of order, but yeah, there are some that I kind of want equally, so, and, they're just kind of, I would say that they're mostly in order, but not quite complete order. I would have to do some major thinking to put them in a complete order. So we're going to start with 10 and go down to 1. Alright, so the first one we're going to talk about is a Lavender Orpington. Now, the Lavender Orpington, well, there's a lot of Orpington breeds. There's like a buff, there's all kinds of stuff. But, so what's neat about the Lavender Orpington is they're not born with the signature color, which is, it's called lavender, and they do have a purple tint, but I would kind of call them more gray. They're not born with that color. Instead, they actually look yellow and might have hints of gray. And they're obviously very soft. They typically have black beaks. The adult ones are pretty big chickens. Now, they'll lay a light brown egg. They are supposed to have a very good temperament, so they're actually really good for first-time chicken owners. So if you're thinking about getting chickens, this is definitely a breed you might want to think about. I like them because I think they're ornamental. You know, I just think they're pretty too. So, lavender isn't the officially recognized color in the U.S. or the United Kingdom, but they definitely have increasing popularity, and so they might be recognized in the near future. So, let's see. They're, like I said before, they're definitely docile and friendly, but some people even call them the golden retrievers of chickens. So that's really neat, right? They're definitely more reserved. They can be shy, but, they're definitely the kind of chickens that come around once you're around them. So the Lavender Orpington, I actually kind of thought that, and I still have no idea what Henny Bear is, but I thought that she might be one at first, so I was really excited, but she's definitely not one. So that's one of the reasons why I definitely do want one, is because the one I thought I might have is not. Alright, so number 9. Delaware chicken. Alright, so Delawares were originally called Indian Rivers. They were developed by George Ellis in Delaware in 1940. Originally, they were crossed with a barred Plymouth Rock in New Hampshire. So, the barred Plymouth Rock kind of looks like a Dominicker. So, you've seen Meryl Cheap and Bobby the Rooster and Channy Banny. They would look kind of like that. I actually thought those were barred rocks before their comb came in. I realized they were Dominickers. So for about 20 years, the Delaware and the Delaware cross with New Hampshire cross were the most popular broiler chickens. Broiler meaning the ones that you use for meat. Now, obviously, I wouldn't use them for meat. I just happen to think they're really pretty. So, Delawares and the Delaware cross with the New Hampshire were replaced in the late 1950s by a Cornish cross with a rock cross, solid white, that now dominates the industry. So they're not considered like the most popular broiler anymore, which makes me happy. So, yeah, I've always loved these chickens. My brother-in-law had some that I don't know if his were actually Delaware or not, but they look very similar. So, and I loved his chickens. So, when I was kind of looking, you know, because I'm weird and in my spare time I look up different breeds of chickens, this was one that, you know, I definitely would love to get at some point. I am, you know, at first I really didn't like white chickens because my white chickens get just so dirty. But now I have so few white chickens that I miss having white chickens. So there's another reason why. Alright, so number 7 on my list is a white-crested Polish chicken. And I had the page up for me to kind of read some info about them, and apparently when it reloads it goes to the home page. So just a minute. Okay. Let me get to the spot. Sorry about this. I actually had this all set up so it wouldn't take long. Alright, so the white-crested Polish chicken. So when it comes to unique breeds, you can always depend on the Polish chicken. The primary purpose of Polish chicken is for show and backyard oddities. Some refer to them as top hats or top knobs. So Polish chickens are known for going broody, but will lay a good amount of small, white, or medium size throughout the year. The chicken is notable for the crest of feathers on top of its head, as well as large nostrils. Now, interesting enough, the Polish chicken is actually thought to originate from the Netherlands rather than Poland, but the name was given to the birds when they were first transported from Poland and initially introduced to England. The breed is thought to have been domesticated in Eastern Europe since the early 16th century. Like all other blue varieties of poultry, the white-crested blue chicken do not breed true to color. Two blues mated together will produce a variety of splash, black, blue, and blue chicks. So, yeah. Honestly, I would probably take any kind of Polish chicken. I love the contrast between the white and black. So, when I was looking at Polish chickens, the white crested definitely just kind of stuck out to me. So, let's get to number 6. Alright, so number 6 is the BRAKEL. As y'all know, I have a favorite chicken, and this one kind of reminds me of it, the way it looks. But the BRAKEL is traditionally a Belgian breed. It is thought to have originated in the area of BRAKEL in the Flemish province. Now, Flemish, I'm assuming we're referring to France, which was interesting. That's a Belgian chicken. So in 1884, two distinct types were recognized as separate breeds, the larger Brakel of Flanders and the smaller and lighter type from the Champagne region in the east. In 1898, a Brakel Breeder Society was established in Neder-Brakel. A breed standard was published in 1926. The separate Brakel and Champagne breeds were brought together under the same single breed standard. So the Brakel population declined drastically during and after the Second World War and is now considered a rare breed. So, as we know, I like rare things. I think most people do. So, yeah, I think it would be a very interesting addition to my flock. What do y'all think? Okay, so number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at number 6. And this is going to be the ISBAR chicken. So, the ISBAR chicken originated in Sweden in the 1980s, so we have a very recent bird here. And it was created by a pastor named Marvin Silverud. Silverud created the breed by breeding a New Hampshire chicken with a Rhode Island red. His aim was to create a breed that was capable of laying a large number of eggs, but in different, unique colors. So, that's neat. So, apparently, it's a very delightful chicken breed. It lays up to 5 speckled, green-tinted eggs a week. We know I love my olive eggers. At a very high range, and if given proper care, it will lay your eggs year-round. Most of my chickens do. I would hope that's because I give them the proper care. So, also, in case y'all haven't noticed, I'm very fond of gray chickens. This is considered a blue chicken, but it's gray. So, the blue ISBAR is the most popular, but it's also the rarest and is the newer breed. So, yeah. So these hens are scrappy and forage well on their own. They can produce up to 200 and 230 eggs a year. And they do, as I said before, they usually have the green tint. Now, these chickens are not great for meat production. If you're somebody who's looking for chickens for meat production, an ISBAR is definitely not your chicken. And then, so it sounds like this chicken was mainly bred because, you know, this person just wanted increased egg production. Increased pretty egg production, I should say. I'm going to have to look up some pictures of their eggs because it does sound very interesting. Okay, so number 5. Halfway done. This is the Sultan chicken. Now, how cool looking does that chicken look, right? Alright, so the Sultan is a breed of chicken originating in Turkey. And it does belong to the CRESTED group called the CRESTED chickens, obviously. Its English moniker is directly culled from the original Turkish language name of Tavuk. I probably butchered that. I apologize. But it roughly translates as Fowls of the Sultan. That's a cool name. They have primarily been ornamental, having been kept in the gardens of Ottoman Sultanate. I'm assuming that's like where the Sultan lives. In the West, they are bred for competitive showing as part of poultry fancy and are generally a rare sight. This breed was first exported from its native country in 1854 when a Miss Elizabeth Watts of Hampstead, London, brought a small flock to Britain. It was seen in North America by 1867 and is recognized officially by acceptance into the American Poultry Association Standard of Perfection in 1874. So sultans typically appear in 3 varieties, black, blue, and white. I would like the white. I think they're beautiful. And the white is the most well known. Hens lay small white eggs at a slow rate and do not go broody. So basically, this hen is just going to be so I can be like, look at my pretty chickens. They'll lay eggs, but they're going to be just not very many. Most sultan breeders take care to raise them in dry bedding in order to protect their elaborate feathering, especially the feathering on their feet. They may also be bullied somewhat if kept in flocks with more active breeds. And that's what you have to worry about with a lot of these fancier ones, because they got all these feathers. Some of the... Look, I'm just going to say it. Chickens can be salty biatches. I've noticed it just in the little groups that I have, you know, the prettier ones. I think that's why Bojangles got bullied so much. They typically pick on the really pretty ones. Alright, we're at number 4. And honestly, I'm going to just be honest. This one's on here because I think that most chicken people really want one. And I wouldn't want a bunch of these because honestly they scare me a little bit. But I just think that they are neat, and I think that there's just one of those things that most chicken people want. So, this is and I've talked about this before, and I know that I'm butchering the name, but an ayam Samani. Okay, so it's a very rare breed of chicken. It's from Indonesia. They have a dominant genes that causes hyperpigmentation, making the chicken mostly black, including feathers, beak, and the internal organs. The Samani is a very popular gamecock for cockfighting in Bali, which I would not use it for, because their thighs have much more muscle compared to other chickens, which leads them to being much faster. So, as a pure Indonesian breed, the breed originated from the island of Java, Indonesia, and it's probably been used since around the 12th century for religious and mystical purposes. And that's... wow, okay. So this is getting scarier for me. Okay, so the breed is described by Dutch colonial settlers and first imported to Europe in 1998 by a Dutch breeder, Jan Steverink. Currently, this breed of chicken is kept in the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, Slovakia, and the Czech Republic. Ayam Samani may have also been brought to Europe by Dutch seamen. So there's a philanthropist named Jean Kiawa, who has the largest collection in Africa with 250 breeding pairs. They are preserved in a breeding program. Now their beaks, tongues, combs, and wattles all appear black, and even though their meat, bones, organs are black or gray, their blood is normally colored. I assume that means, you know, like blood. And yeah, all of their black, you know, it's an excess pigmentation caused by a genetic condition. So, I am putting up pictures of the female and the baby chickens. But if any of y'all have ever seen the picture of a ayam Samani rooster, it is so scary. It looks like the devil himself. And if I ever got these, I would not want a rooster, because I would probably have a heart attack if one of those roosters came chasing me. I mean, they just look demonic. But it's just, you know, it's one of those chickens that I think everybody wants one in their flock. Okay, so next we got another one from Sweden. This is called the Swedish flower hen. Now y'all are going to instantly look at this picture and go, that chicken looks familiar. And you're right. It looks a lot like my speckled Sussex and my favorite, Bojangles, which I think is one of the reasons why I really want this hen. Why it's third on my list. So, it is considered an endangered species right now. It is only one of 11 traditional chicken breeds in Sweden. Now, it's a traditional farmyard breed, and it's from the southern Sweden. And so they basically, it came really close to extinction in 1970, but they started like recovering and breeding them. And they have pretty good flocks found in the villages of ISBAR, Tofta, and Vom. I have some Swedish people on here. I apologize for butchering those names. There's actually a lot of Swedish words on the information that I am not familiar with. So, at that point, in 2014, the population of these birds was 1,592 that was reported. At least 15 birds were exported to the U.S. in 2010. I would like to get me some of those birds. I think that they're beautiful. They do remind me of Bojangles, excuse me. And I would just really, really, really enjoy having them. Okay, so we're at number 2. I'm going to try to go quicker. Gosh, I'm at 20 minutes. I've been trying to make my videos shorter. I apologize. Okay, so this is called a mottled Howden, or some people might say Houdan. I actually used to say Houdan. I actually looked up the pronunciation so that I got it right when I talked to y'all today. So the original origins of the Howden breed are unknown, as they predate modern agricultural writing. So little can be said with certainty. The breed was described in detail in 1858. So that's basically the first, great recording of it. So the Howden combines a number of very distinctive features, which in the 19th century gave rise to speculation about the breeds that might have contributed to its development. So, some say that there's probably some Polish in it, some Dorking, some, there's just a few things that people have been speculating as to how this breed came about. So, it was first imported into England in 1850 and to North America in 1865, where it appeared in the first edition of the American Standard of Perfection in 1874. Okay, so Howdens have small earlobes and wattles, a backward flowing crest, and facial feathering consisting of a beard and muffing around the ears. On hens, common wattles are sometimes completely obscured by the feathering. Howden combs are V-shaped in the American standard, but butterfly-shaped in the British, Australian, and French standards. The most common color variety is the mottled, which is the one I want. A pattern with black and white spotting. So in the past, there's lighter variations of the mottled pattern. In the 1800s, it may have been more similar to the splashy mixture of white and black. So this is interesting. So originally it was a dual-purpose bird. So a dual-purpose bird is meat and eggs. In the 1800s, it was one of France's main meat breeds. But these days it's more of a show bird. But they do lay a respectable number of white eggs, and it's still kept in white in backyard flocks. And just for the record, my flock would be considered a backyard flock. Alright, so we're coming to number 1. And a lot of people are going to think that I'm absolutely silly for this being my number 1, because it's a fairly common breed. but I don't have them, and I would like to get them. If I ever go anywhere that has them, I will probably be buying some. So, it is a silver laced Wyandotte. Okay. I actually had to look up that pronunciation also. But it's originally known as an American sea bright. So it was developed in the 1870s. It was named for the indigenous Wyandotte people of North America, which is a Native American tribe, I believe. It doesn't say that what I'm reading, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So it was created in the United States in the 1870s by 4 people: H.M. Doubleday, John Ray, L. Whitaker, and Fred Houdelet. The first type was the silver laced, which is the one I want. They also have a golden laced, which is really pretty, but I want the silver. Which was included in the American Standard of Perfection in 1883. It was taken to Britain about the same time. The origin of the breed is still somewhat a mystery. However, silver spangled Hamburgs and dark Brahmas are considered to be important breeds in the initial crosses to developing Wyandottes. The Hamburg was used for the rose comb and the Brahma for the color pattern. Do y'all hear my neurotic cat frantically meowing? I'm almost done, Duchess. Hold on. Alright, so we'll get this done quicker. I wanted to spend a lot more time on my number 1, but she's going to drive people crazy. So it's a fairly large bird, but it's compact and rounded. I mean, I just think that they're beautiful. I mean, I think that they're fancy looking. So it is also considered a dual purpose bird. It matures rapidly, and hens are good layers, and they lay a tinted egg. And it's also a very popular showbird, particularly in Germany. So that's it. We're at number 1. So tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all's favorite breed is underneath. I appreciate y'all staying with me for that long and, dealing with my horrible reading. I've never been great at reading, rather. Yeah, let me know what y'all's first pick would be down below.